Yo, what up, world? Welcome to episode 12 of the Dog Money Sports Show. I go by Money Marvin. I'm sitting here with my boy Big Chubbs. What it do, man?
Man, my bark still sound low. I don't know what's
to say. You need to put some bass in that, bro.
I don't know what's going on, man. I gotta fix that. What up, brother? How was your weekend, man?
Man, it was cool, man. You know, I didn't make no money this weekend.
You ain't make no money this weekend?
Nothing to brag about.
Nothing to brag
A couple
about.
straight bets just so I can break even. Well, technically, that's a win.
Yeah.
It's a win, so it is what it is.
Halloween this past weekend, what'd you go as?
Oh, man, I was the king. King Ning around these parts, bro.
The king. The king was what that girl out
today
there.
is Tuesday, and it felt like the weekend was so long ago.
It felt super long ago. What that girl say to you, or what when we was there? What she call you? Sire. Sire.
Bro, she called me Your Majesty like
Your Majesty.
5 times, bro.
Your Majesty, how may I help you?
Hey, she liked to got dealt with.
Oh man. Shoot, my weekend was great, man. I can't even lie. Made a little bit of money. Thank you. Take that away from me. Made a little bit of money this weekend. Nothing too crazy. I really don't do Halloween too much. So thank you for getting me out the house.
Oh, you know what it is, bro.
I went as Rick Ross. If you ain't seen, you know, the biggest boss. Oh. They think I'm big. And I had them going crazy up there. They was like, "Can you do the voice too?"
Was it the same girl?
No, it was her, and then there was other ones that out on the outside of the little yacht too. Other than that, my boy, shout out to my son, Cameron Noel Jackson, the future MLB star. That boy went nuts again. Got him another game ball for his last game of the season. And it's crazy. I was super hyped, super proud. Always proud of him. But you know when you're a kid and you know you good, or the people around you know you good. You might not know yet, but the people around you know you good. Especially when you got parents on the team like, hey, yeah, oh man, he just hits like, whew, so much power. And then the coach is talking about some, hey man, when you make it to the pros, make sure you come back and get us some tickets so you can.
Saying your boy walking around here big headed right
now? Nah, he don't even know how good he. No, he don't know. But it's like, you know, when you see talent in somebody, they don't see it, but he has that talent to get there, and he works hard at what he does, and I don't have to push him to do it. So I love it in him. Outside of that. This weekend, again, this weekend was cool. I'm not even going to lie. We want to kick it over into the news. Not too much news as far as, you know, how we normally do the news to cover. Just a quick shot into the NBA. The Nets part ways with Steve Nash.
You surprised behind that?
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm surprised he got the job.
That's what I'm surprised about.
Hey, you know what? Now, like, Stephen A. makes sense.
What did he say?
He was saying something. First, he was upset about a black man not getting that opportunity.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm not even upset about that. I'm just upset that there's qualified people.
Qualified
with credentials
coaches
that can actually jump into this job and probably have some success. Unlike
he never
going out there.
He never. That's why it to me, I was like, that don't make sense. Yeah, like he never had coaching experience. It's almost like they were trying to bottle up whatever Golden State had with Steve Kerr. Except the thing is, Steve Kerr coached.
He coached.
He was an assistant. Yeah, he coached. So it's like you can't just throw somebody in there and expect them to know how to deal with high profile players and know how to manage a team like that, even though you were a high-profile player.
He kind of got lost in the sauce because I forgot for a minute he was even over there.
I forgot.
That drama surrounding Brooklyn.
I forgot he was over there. And speaking of drama, now they bring in Celtics head coaches who they're expecting to hire as the head coach.
We waiting on that to get confirmed.
How do you pronounce that man's name?
Udoka.
Hide your wives. What that man say? Hide your kids. Hide your wives. Y'all better hide your wives out there. That man coming out there, sling a lane, ready to bang on these. Hide your
comment.
hide your wives. Hide your wives.
Hey, but I do have a question.
What's the question?
Do you think he'd be a good fit over there?
I actually do believe he would be a good fit because in Boston, he had a lot of personalities to deal with between Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and he got all them cats together.
You know what, though? It's not a lot of big egos over there.
It's not.
It's a lot of, like, it's big personalities. I wouldn't say egos, though.
Big personalities and big talent.
Yeah, I hate the team so much. However, that roster is incredible.
It's incredible, and the thing is, it's
reach the finals
until they reach the finals, and they're built really well. Yeah. So I think
over there is pretty nice.
I think he's gonna have to shift the culture a little bit. It can't be so much me ball out there because really all it is Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant.
Play defense in Brooklyn.
They don't play defense, and it's a lot of ISO. It's a lot of ISO ball. Yeah. It's kind of similar to how Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are playing right now.
Yeah.
All ISO ball. You know what I mean? So they're going to have to figure that out on that end. But outside of that news, there was a lot of trades going on in the NFL this weekend before the deadline. So we want to go ahead and just kick it before we kick it into the NFL. We want to kick it into college gear because even with the trade deadlines excitement, it was a lot of excitement around this first college football playoff ranking. And I want to just go through that really quick. First, on the first rankings, you have Tennessee ranked number 1. So they got a lot of love in this first ranking. Tennessee ranked number 1. Ohio State ranked number 2. Georgia ranked number 3, Clemson ranked number 4, with Michigan at 5 and Alabama at 6 on the outskirts.
Let's not forget TCU, bro.
TCU is at 7.
They're at 7. We have to talk about them too.
Oregon is at 8. If you want to round out the 10, USC is at 9. LSU,
which is crazy,
at 10.
Which is crazy.
So they snuck their way back up in that thing. So going over the college football rankings. Are you surprised? Are you excited? Because this is with I think with Tennessee in there, this is like a change up, like big time. You know what I mean? You've never seen outside of Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan, Alabama. You've always seen them in a playoff picture.
I can't say that I should be surprised about it because we talked about this on a couple episodes.
Right.
We also said that Tennessee, Michigan, those are some teams that could possibly, and USC, which is also at 9, I believe.
Right, 9.
One of those teams that could possibly sneak up into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Tennessee not sneaking into nothing.
They not sneaking into nothing
right now.
They not sneaking into nothing.
I was surprised to see Alabama drop to 6. I had a talk with my parlay partner Nelson. Shout out to Nels Dog.
Nels Dog.
We was talking about it. He a Bama fan, but they dropped all the way to 6. And I'm thinking about it like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Then I look at the schedule, everybody else undefeated.
Yeah.
And they all dogs.
And I'm a Bama fan, so I...
And he was actually kind of saying how it's disrespectful for them to be at 6. And I was like, it's kind of disrespectful for TCU to be at 7. Because TCU ain't no punks, bro. They undefeated. They can compete. They can really compete with anybody. Not saying that they can go to the playoffs and really get to the national championship.
Right.
But they some dogs out there at TCU, dog.
And
I hate him so much, and you know that.
I know you. I know
it hurts
that.
for me to say this, but since we talked about it earlier, I figured I should bring that up. I don't think that Alabama will sneak back into the playoffs. Looking at future schedules, Tennessee, I hope they win it all, bro.
Honestly, I don't see Clemson losing the game at this point of the season.
Nah.
Georgia, I don't see them losing the game at this point of the season.
Do I see Ohio State losing?
The only game that I can really see Georgia losing to is Tennessee. But if they're still ranked at 3, and Georgia or Alabama somehow
don't knock them out of 4. They don't knock them. Well, actually, you know what?
It will if they still ranked at 3.
If Michigan stays undefeated, it'll jump them up.
Yeah.
So if anybody in this top 4 lose, it's kind of a wrap for them.
Yeah, at this point, you at this point, top 4, you can't lose.
You can't lose.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I won't say Alabama don't have a way in it. They definitely have a way to get back into the playoff picture. TCU, on the other hand, they might have a little harder time just because the Big 12. They're gonna give the SEC and the ACC and the Big 10 that bias off top just because of who they are and the money they generate. TCU,
and that's the sad part about the playoffs. It's still
right.
not.
It's not
fair.
true. Yeah,
it's not fair to a lot of other teams.
Exactly.
So I'm happy that we have these playoffs. But
right.
It's still not.
I mean, when it expands, I think that we'll get a little bit
like
more.
We were saying earlier, we need more teams in there just to make it official. You don't want to put all them kids through all that banging though, but
absolutely. And I think
still.
With TCU. I think with TCU, the knock on them, I mean, we're really going to see what they are all about when they play Texas. I think Texas and Iowa State might be their biggest competition because Iowa State always finds a way to screw somebody over. And Texas.
Now, last week I finally bet against them.
I told you what I took.
I took Oklahoma.
I took Oklahoma. You was like, you know how I feel. I was like, I know how you feel, but I'm taking Oklahoma. Yeah. But I think Texas really is going to be their biggest matchup. Being that Kansas State is actually beating people how they are, TCU, that's going to be a big win for them at the end of the day. That Oklahoma State win, depending on how Oklahoma State bounced back from that smack city that they took 48-0. Like, I never expected that. I can't see the playoff committee saying, hey, we'll throw TCU. If anything, they're gonna throw USC over because it's USC.
Right.
Honestly, you know what I mean?
Keep it a buck. I'll keep it a buck with you.
What?
They can probably bang with USC right now.
They can. Absolutely.
They can probably really bang with Michigan.
They could probably beat
and really
both
bang
of them.
with Clemson.
You know what I mean?
I'm not going to say the same about Georgia and Tennessee, though.
I think Georgia is at the point where they just like cruising through the season and like, let's just get to the playoffs. Yeah.
Let me get your prediction for the national championship. Who do you think?
National championship. Who I think gonna take it off?
Yeah, I'm rooting Tennessee.
I'm rolling with Tennessee. Yeah, I like Hendon Hooker.
I like his name.
As much as I'm an Alabama fan, you an Oklahoma fan, but I would like to see somebody new get a shot at winning the championship.
Right.
We seen Georgia, we seen Ohio State, we seen Clemson, we seen Alabama. I mean, it wouldn't be terrible to see Michigan get a championship. I don't think it's going to happen. Nah. But Tennessee to me has the best shot, and that's who I kind of want to see get their just due this year. You got anything in the college rankings that or anything you want to discuss before we roll up out of that?
Nah, man, I'm mad I even talked about TCU.
TCU.
Oh my God.
All right, so we're gonna roll on over into our NFL sector, but before we get there, we're gonna go ahead and talk about our little dog and our big dogs of the week. Marv, who you have for the big dog of the week?
Big dog, man, I gotta go Alvin Kamara. I like Alvin Kamara this week.
He would be considered a little dog, though.
He's a running back. That's a big dog. No matter.
Okay, so he gonna be a little dog, big dog, dude.
He's just a dog, bro.
So we gonna give out two dogs.
What's crazy though, he didn't have a lot of rushing yards.
He didn't, and as a matter of fact, that fool had 61 rushing yards.
That was it. 61.
He had. I take that back. He had 62 rushing yards on 8 attempts. He had 1 touchdown, but he had 9 catches on 10 targets for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, every time I saw him run the ball, like, he was running the ball with intent to kill somebody.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Running through him, bro. You never really see that too much from him.
You don't. And that's what surprised me. I think he was low-key, like, please get me out of here.
Yeah, you trying to get traded?
Somebody, please get me out of here. Let me show them that I still got the juice. Please get me out of here. Send me somewhere outside of New Orleans right now where I can be, not on a rebuilding squad, because I don't see New Orleans being New Orleans like they have been lately. No. You know what I mean? But I'll go with my dog of the week, big dog of the week, I guess little dog of the week. Shoot, they almost the same in a sense. Micah Parsons, I would give him that, at least as an honorable mention. The boy is balling out, but I'm going to have to give it to Myles Garrett.
Yeah, Myles Garrett went nuts on
the boy came in as Vecna on Halloween. Like he played like it. The boy came in as Vecna and showed out as Vecna on Halloween. He had that boy Joe Burrow in the backfield spooked.
Man, real talk.
1.5 sacks. I mean, I think his stats on on paper, it don't jump out to you besides that sack, but everything he brings to the game definitely makes a difference on that end. So definitely got to go with that boy on that end, Myles Garrett. I know we want to kick it over into our NFL talk with our questions. So we got a new segment. We decided to, with our videos that you guys are going to be submitting, whoever wants to talk, have questions for us, we decided we want to call that
Questions from the Dog Pound.
Questions from the Dog Pound, brought to you by Money Marv. Brought to you by Money Marv. Our first question from the Dog Pound goes to my boy, my cousin, my brother, Terry Harris. His question for us. You got that for us?
Yeah, I got it pulled up.
All right, let's hear it.
What up, fam? Just want to know, man, your opinions on the Raiders and not making any moves on the trade deadline, not trying to beef up that offensive line. Can't get no help on the defensive side. They can't get pressure on nobody. What's your thoughts?
Yo, first of all, shout out to Terry. He's a faithful listener, part of the core of our group. Love that man. Great question. But I want to kind of segue that question into what else we got to go with our bum of the week. So before I answer that question, if you don't know, our bum of the week is going to the Raiders.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
The Las Vegas Raiders. How trash can you be to go to New Orleans?
Let's just talk about our disappointment first.
Go.
We're Cowboy fans.
We're Cowboy fans.
Raiders and brought their ass out here to Las Vegas.
To Las Vegas.
To Las Vegas.
Nevada. Not
our town, bro. They didn't even cross the 50-yard line.
Trash.
Several weeks ago, bro, we was talking about them being a possible big dog of the NFL.
Yes.
Their division is not the toughest division.
We gave them too much respect.
Too much respect. Them fools didn't cross the 50-yard line, let alone get in field goal range.
They did cross the 50-yard line.
How?
With 2 minutes left in the game.
Bro, who was watching at that point?
Nobody was watching at that point.
Nobody was watching at that point.
Man, 24.
You know what? I thought about it. I was at the Palace Station this Sunday.
Okay.
One of my boys, he invited me out to his bar. Shout out to my boy Trey.
Nice.
And he was saying what they normally do at this bar, they give out free shots for every time the Raiders score a point.
I know people was pissed.
So I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, like the city really loses out on money when the Raiders play poor. I never really thought about it like that until we had the nights out here. Then I noticed, I'm like, damn, okay, these bars are kind of rocking. The Strip is rocking, downtown is rocking, but when the teams are terrible,
because everybody's pissed,
upset. I don't want to be here and watch this. I can go home.
You know you're going home. You're going home mad. Instead of spending money at the bar drinking happy, you're going to go home and drink because you pissed.
It's hard to even want to root for the home team, bro, if they're going to go out there and shit like this. If
they're going to show us that kind of, man. But into Terry's question, as far as trade as far as trade deadlines go, I feel like it's a few teams that really could have stepped it up, trying at least to use whatever draft capital, whatever, cap space that they had available left to them to boost up their team. But the Raiders, I almost feel like they're in the flux of, do we want to really do it all this year, or do we need to see what
needs that you can just pick up mid-season?
Right.
They need to get rid of Derek Carr.
You know what's crazy?
They need to get rid of Derek Carr.
You know what's crazy, man? I always, you know this, I always back Derek Carr.
For what?
I always, because I
to not cross the 50
I feel
yard
like
line?
I see more talent in him than he.
You have a top
you know
5
what I mean?
running back. You have a top 5 tight end. You have a great offensive line.
You have a top 5
I
wide
haven't even
receiver
gotten there yet. And I have the tight end and the wide receiver and the running back on both of my fantasy squads, bro. I won one of them, luckily, but Devontae Adams had negative rushing yards, which brought me down to negative points on my fantasy league.
Rushing yards.
I stopped watching. that league.
I think in one league, in our league, he had 1.2 points.
Yeah, bro. I'll tell you right now, bro.
Devontae Adams, 1.2 points.
But bro, that's not supposed to happen. You have way too much talent to not make that work.
And the thing is, I think, again, going back to his question, as far as trades go, I feel like, you know, what they need is they definitely need an offensive line. They need to get better. But you can't really just say, oh, let me go pick up one guy on the offensive line and it's going to be better. No, they need a little bit more help on that end. As far as defense go, Max Crosby, puzzle, Max Crosby, he does his job and he does his job really well. But I think the league has gotten to a point where you almost need a 1-2 punch. You know, you get more out of having a 1-2 punch on that defensive line. Mm-hmm. When you think about like last year with the Rams, when Aaron Donald was there by himself getting triple teamed and double teamed, you bring in Von Miller, you can't do that.
Now he can,
you know what I mean? You have exactly. You got Nick Bosa out there in San Francisco, mm-hmm. and then you bring in the lines that they had, and you know, or then you have in San Diego. Well, it ain't San Diego no more. L.A. the Chargers. When they're healthy, you got the other Bosa. And then you have Khalil Mack. Like, when you have 2 legit defensive linemen on the front line, like, it makes a difference now in today's age in the NFL. Right. And I really feel like the Raiders kind of forfeited on the draft, more so because I feel like their needs is a little bit more than what you can just get before the trade deadline. Right. And I also feel like
they need them draft picks.
They need them draft picks. And at this point, you know, you're floating at the bottom of the division, and do you really see yourself? I feel like they almost kind of gave up, because it's like, even though they have space in their division to make a run, I feel like, you know, when you make trades before the trade deadline as a contender, mm-hmm. you're making trades because you only need that 1 or 2 or 3 pieces that you can just really get.
Like Miami. Great splash out there.
And since
San Francisco.
Man.
Great splash.
Man, great splash. And since we in the trade talk, I'm glad he asked that question, because it was wild this weekend. I mean, I was literally looking at my phone on the Scores app, and I'm just going through. When you sent me something, I'm like, what the heck? They really got rid of him? So the most notable trades, if you want to go over some of them, I have them pulled up. I know we had TJ Hawkinson went from the Lions to the Vikings.
Yeah, that was a dope trade.
That's a crazy trade.
And like their tight end got, I hate to say somebody got injured at the right time, but he really did. Because that team just picked up somebody just as good, if not better.
I would have never expected that, because you just traded from a rival to a rival.
But if you look at our division, we shuffle our players like that all the time. You know,
between Philly and Washington.
You know how pissed off I was when DeMarco Murray went to Philadelphia?
Pissed. I was pissed. Because that boy was, man, you had the Bears acquire Chase Claypool. I don't feel like that was, you know, more so now. That was more so a future. Yeah, okay. I really think they were I
want to see what happened though this year.
I really think this is what happened. They said, because going into the season, I felt like they kind of threw Justin Field out there. Was like, let's see if he gonna sink or swim, and we don't want to give him too many pieces.
He's keeping the ship afloat.
He is keeping it afloat, and he's showing that
you
got talent.
They need to give him some talent around him, dog.
Chase Claypool is not terrible. He has a lot of room to grow, but he's also young.
And he's also a dog.
He's a
Let's
dog.
not forget that.
He is a dog, and he goes to a place where he can be the one if he really, acts in that manner. So I think that was a really good trade for the Bears to acquire him. The Dolphins, I feel like the Dolphins in that mode, like, yo, we feel like we can get a championship right now. So they went and got Bradley Chubb.
Good pickup.
And they picked up Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yeah.
So when CMC went to the 49ers, we knew Jeff Wilson's days was done. Even though he was having a really good season. But
stock went right back up.
But would you rather have CMC or Jeff Wilson?
I'd rather have CMC
all day,
keeping it a buck. But
all day,
he's gonna mesh well out there in Miami.
He is gonna, and I feel like Jeff Wilson is gonna give them that running punch that they need, and then you have their other running backs there that can actually catch the ball. So Jeff Wilson's strength isn't catching; his strength is running downhill,
right?
And that's what they're gonna bring to the table. Calvin Ridley, suspended wide receiver from the Falcons. I know he out there pissed. Like I saw somebody on Twitter wrote Calvin Ridley at home pissed. They said he called and said, why I couldn't get traded to Las Vegas.
They never gonna let that die.
They're not gonna let that die, bro. They don't want this man to win.
Somebody investigated and found out what the actual bet he put in. He bet on his team to win.
Bro, that's like a Pete Rose type deal.
Yeah, I saw
like with Pete Rose betting on himself.
And they won too.
To win. Yeah. And the team to win. Like, that's nuts, bro.
But it is against y'all policy.
It is against the policy. But I'm willing to bet that some of them owners up in there got stock. You can't have a FanDuel and DraftKings sponsorship and partnership and not be involved in some kind of way. That's making like money from that.
Michelob and Bud Light being your sponsors, but
you ain't getting no.
Yeah, you telling them not to drink. I just think
absolutely
that's like hypocrisy, bro.
Absolutely, because I know them owners getting that pocket change because you know it, and I guarantee you some of them out there betting on their teams and against their teams too.
It's not against the policy for them to do so
because they not the players. Right. Ain't that crazy?
But cold game.
Naheem Hines went from the Colts to the Bills.
Did that surprise you at all?
I don't think that it surprised me that. Honestly, I don't think neither side of the ball on that end, Naheem or the coach, surprised me because the Bills the Bills really been looking for a running back. I do think they have 3 really good running backs, but they're not utilizing them well.
Honestly, they probably only got one. Singletary might be out there holding the load.
Singletary, but James Cook, he has a lot of potential. He's just young. He's just young.
He's not putting it on the field. I dropped him from a fantasy team.
I dropped him week 1. Once I saw how they were acting and doing in preseason, I was like, I gotta get rid of him now. Yeah. While his stock is.
But he is a solid back. However, when he gets his time,
going to take some time.
He just needs to show out.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take some time. So I think as far as trades go, crazy trades. Who would you say benefited the most?
I'm gonna have to say the 49ers, man. But Christian McCaffrey will have to stay healthy.
He will have to stay healthy.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They over there like this every time. Yeah. Please stay healthy. Please stay healthy. They watching the games like
we're looking at AD.
Oh man, don't hurt yourself. Please stay healthy. Yeah. I would say, to me, I think that the Dolphins probably won that
the
trade.
Dolphins won off season
and trade deadline.
By the trade deadline,
man. And they really showing you they believe in their coach. Mm-hmm. They believe in the structure that they have, because you got to think about this too. all the moves they made during these off seasons has come from. It started with the trade for Laramie Tunsil.
True that.
Man, it's crazy. So they turned that trade into Tyreek Hill, to Jalen Waddle. Now Bradley Chubb.
That domino effect is crazy, right?
Yo, they really put in that work, and it worked out great.
But they wanted to pay Brian Flores to tank. You know, but go ahead. We'll talk about that.
I don't even want to go there because I get upset every time.
I'm upset
but
too.
I do like this new coach. I do. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He weird. Like he don't even seem like he would be a coach. He's a little weird. But I do like him as a coach. So I'm hoping for the best for him. I mean, my son, that's his second team. You know how we go for Baltimore second.
Man, we're not supposed to tell them.
I know, but they got to know.
Okay.
But his
That's my AFC team.
His second team is the Dolphins. But before we get out of the trade talk, what do you think about our non-movement? Because we were looking at trying to get Brandon Cooks at one point, which would have been a really good pickup at a wide receiver position because Brandon Cooks is really consistent.
Yeah, he's real good. I am not upset that we didn't do anything outside of picking up Jonathan Hankins.
Okay,
Jonathan Hankins
was a really good pickup for us
because he played 20% of the snaps last week.
Yep.
So he's not really involved in the playbook. He wasn't really involved in the playbook last week, but as we progress, he'll see a lot more snaps.
Yep. And
it's going to help us because that's where we lack
in that run.
Yeah.
Yeah, against the run.
But that'll give our linebackers more time to or more space to be free.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can read the plays in front of them a snap longer. So
absolutely.
I'm excited to see what happens with that. I also want to mention this Robert Quinn trade.
Oh, I forgot about Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith. Left from the Bears and went to the Ravens, which was big.
Crazy.
Like they always they might as well be NFL linebacker.
Do you think that's what was missing on that
for the Ravens?
Linebacker presence?
Yes.
I think their DBs are crazy.
Their DBs are crazy.
They give up yards though.
But I do think they were missing a legit. You got to think about the Ravens. The Ravens are known to have great linebacker play, and when C.J. Mosley went over to the Jets, they lost that next piece because C.J. came in behind those other great linebackers,
right?
Suggs, Lewis, and they lost that. So now you got a dog coming in there.
Big dog.
A big dog coming up in there.
Tackles.
Big dog coming in there. And the Bears was like, yo, we know we ain't keeping you.
I wonder what the Bears got for them. We got to look that up.
I want to say they got 2 rounds. Second round pick this year and then a third round pick next year. I want to say. We got to look that up.
We got to add that to the picture.
Absolutely.
Because I need to know what they got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you don't let no dog like that go.
Absolutely. But you were saying too, Robert Quinn. Yeah. That was a big trade. I feel like the Eagles too, and I don't know why I didn't mention that, but Robert Quinn.
Hey, they following the Rams template from last year.
On a cheaper level, though. On a cheaper level.
They ain't
mortgaging everything.
Bro. They probably won't be drafting for a while.
Man, but their team is legit. Their team is legit, built legit. I hate to say that, but I think going back before we go too deep into that, I feel like with our team, Jerry Jones is kind of content with what he has. I do really think that he is out there. Because he didn't
expect us to be where we at.
Yeah. I mean, for us to win without Dak Prescott and our defense to look the best it's ever been, like, over the last 2 years, and if they keep that flow of running and catching, it gives us time to get our wide receivers back healthy. Mike Gallup's still getting his feet up under him. And then Washington from Pittsburgh,
he should be
healthy soon.
Yep.
So we getting back guys. Tyron Smith be back healthy, hopefully. And that's what he's hoping to get. Hey, if we get him, I'm not even going to hold you. I'll be excited. I will be excited.
Yeah, me too.
I will be stupid excited. But outside of that, I really think that the trade deadline, this trade deadline outside of the Bears, This was more so a contenders trade deadline. Let's see what we can get and who we can get to beef up our team. Right. Now, before we move out of the NFL talk, we are
another question.
We got another question from the Dog Pound, brought to you by Money Marv. Questions from the Dog Pound, brought to you by Money Marv. Money Marv, what's that next question?
Yo, so I got a question for my little bro, man. This is actually my baby brother, and I'm surprised that he even be like paying attention because my family don't care about what I be doing out here.
Hey,
but here go my question for my little bro. Let's see what he got to say.
I got a question for y'all. So we about halfway through the season. Who y'all got for Defensive Player of the Year? Let me know something.
Man, that was a great question.
It's a great question.
Great question.
A hard question to answer at this moment to me because I have at least two. Mm-hmm. But I want to hear yours first.
If I can pick right now, and it's a biased opinion, but I would have to say Micah Parsons, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why. First off, let me throw the stats out there for the season. 36 total tackles, 26 of them solo, 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery for a tutty. And we saw that last week versus the Bears.
Okay.
Another thing, the Cowboys on the TV all the time.
Yeah.
So, like, we are seeing his greatness, like, on a consistent level. Every single week, he's doing something amazing. And if it's not a stat that can be counted, he's causing hell. He's causing hell.
Every play.
And if you look at the play where he scored that touchdown, if you look at the play, it went on the opposite side of the field. So, like, this boy hustles.
He was 15 yards away from that play.
He was still on the line of scrimmage when the fumble came out. That boy be hustling. I hope he can keep that
every
intensity.
day I'm hustling.
You done?
Every day. Every day.
He keep that intensity like throughout his whole career because that'd be crazy.
Every day I'm hustling.
I'm done with you, dog. But if I can throw out a second one who can be a strong possibility, it'd have to be Myles Garrett.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, those are my two.
Yeah.
Not to be biased, but Micah Parsons, Aaron Donald is my guy, and he's dogging out there too, even getting triple teamed. Mm-hmm. But Micah Parsons is out here showing you like something crazy. This man goes from anywhere on the field. He lines up against anybody on the field, and he is putting you in the quarterback's lap at any moment.
Man.
So he's getting back there, making plays in the backfield, making plays down the field, causing fumbles, getting sacks, touchdowns.
He's all over.
You know what I mean? He's everywhere. And it's like you have to know exactly where he is every single time, or else your team is screwed. So he's a difference maker.
He has to be accounted for before every snap.
He has to be. And like you said, Myles Garrett would be my second because Myles Garrett, right now, he's playing without Jadeveon Clowney, but he's still out there balling. Right. You know what I mean? Like, Myles Garrett has been probably one of the top defensive ends in the league since he's been drafted. And I think this year, he is really, like, taking it again to another level. And I think he would be number 2. If this guy wasn't on a losing team, which sucks for the league, when the Steelers suck it's bad for the league. But if this guy wasn't on the Steelers at this moment where they're losing, Minkah Fitzpatrick, I think Minkah Fitzpatrick,
crazy,
man, like I really think Minkah would be up there in that Defensive Player of the Year talk. But I feel like you got to kind of contribute on a team that's winning.
He's been on it since week 1. He was our first dog of the week.
He was our first dog of the week, and that boy been dogging every single week, bro. He has been dogging. So I think for me, of course, Micah, Myles, long shot, Minkah, Fitzpatrick, and I don't even think past Myles and Micah, it's not even truly that close.
It's a few people out there that should get some honorable mentions.
Von Miller.
Yeah. Bosa.
Nick Bosa. Lil Bosa.
And, Aaron Donald, of course, you got to involve him in these conversations.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's at the top of that list or the bottom, you have to mention
He's
him.
definitely in there.
Because if you his stats they're not desirable. However,
he's triple teamed.
If you're watching the film, he's still causing hell.
4 sacks.
4 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 17 solos right now.
As a defensive
17
tackle.
solos and 37 totals. So he's in there. You know what I'm saying?
He's in there.
But he is fighting off triple teams now that they done lost Bond.
Yeah, man. And that's they bad because they kind of, I feel like the Rams overall, pretty much, I mean, they mortgaged their whole future for that championship, which I can't be mad. They got their championship. And the same thing is with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got to think they mortgaged their whole future for their championship. Now they're both going to be they're both going to be in that flux year where like I don't know what's happening, but it is what it is, and it's going to be what it is. Outside of that, I really think I'm excited to see how everything plays out. What's your record, bro? I think me and you your team looking good fantasy real quick.
First of all, take a loss, bro.
First of all, your team looking good. I'm really mad that you picked up Ken Walker off of my mistake from dropping him. I'm still mad about that. But
Two tears in the bucket.
It's okay. I was gonna pull some janky stuff, but then I was like, I ain't gonna be janky.
You got too much integrity for that, bro.
Yeah, I do, man. I was gonna cancel out your waiver request for him when I saw you put it in that night while we was recording. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I was like, I'm gonna cancel out this man's waiver request because he know I wanted that dude. So Mandrew's team isn't doing too well at all right now. He's fighting for his life out here. I'm fighting for his life. What more do you want from me? This man out here fighting for his life right now. He doing the best that he can with the team that he got.
Corey out there.
It's tough out here. Corey out here balling.
I'm waiting for one of y'all to just take a loss, bro.
Corey already took a loss. Corey already took a loss.
Yeah, but I think to Corey 3-2.
Corey down. Didn't he lose twice?
Nah.
I think Corey lost twice. I think you lost.
I think you got Corey this week.
I do have Corey this week. I think you lost twice.
One of y'all finna lose, and it's gonna make me happy. So I don't care.
You lost twice. I think Corey lost twice. What's Corey at? And then who just got into 4th place? Nels Dog just moved into 4th.
Don't tell me Big Nell snuck in.
Yeah, he
snuck in the 4th place.
He snuck in the 4th place.
Shout out to Nels Dog. Hey, you know what? While we talking about Nels Dog, we gotta I gotta give him a little shout out.
Shout out to Nels Dog.
My boy hit him a little 10-teamer this weekend.
Gonna call him Parlay Nels.
Parlay Nels?
Parlay Nels. That's his new name.
Parlay Nels?
Parlay Nels.
All right, bet.
Hey, shout out to all the fellas and Kim in our Dog Money podcast. Kim been trying to make a comeback too.
Do I have Kim this week?
I don't know. Who do you have?
I got Kim this week.
You got Kim this week. Shout out to Kim.
Let's go, Kim.
It's been pretty fun. I'm not even gonna lie to you. For Mandrew, he's not excited at all.
About Corey, he lost twice.
He did lose twice, right? Okay, so we got a few more weeks of fantasy football. Really quick into the NBA. The Lakers suck right now, which sucks. They got their first win, and
these fools act like they got a. They won a national championship.
I mean,
I can understand the celebration when I thought about it.
That's the coach.
That's his first actual
as a head coach.
I get it, but come on, folks. That's not the goal right now.
Yeah, that's not the goal
that's
right
a
now.
bad
But I mean, hopefully,
Kobe Bryant rolling in his grave right now.
Rolling in his grave. Right Phil Jackson rolling in his grave right now. What that boy say? Yeah. Trash. But hopefully that one win kind of gets the ship right and get them a couple of more wins. Right now they playing while we recording. It's 33-31 as I see right now, but we'll see what happens. In the NBA has been
tearing my pockets up.
Unpredictable,
bro,
to say the least. Just like NFL has been unpredictable. A lot of people like yourself. A lot of people like to take games like the game spread over teams that you think gonna win or not gonna win. Be careful with that right now as these teams are finding their ways. It's 82 games in a season, so you never know. Me personally, I do not play point spreads. I don't play money line. I don't play over or unders when it comes to basketball.
What you do, big dog?
All I do is player props, baby. That's it. It's a slow hustle, a slow grind, but it works. What we will always say is make sure you manage your money properly. Don't go out here trying to bankrupt the casinos or the sports betting apps off of one day, 1 week. You got to build that up and get that money. If you ever pay attention, this old guy, when I first started betting, told me, he said, hey, dog, yo, young cat, young blood. He was like, young blood, you know what? You know what you're talking about. You know what you're doing, but you picking too many teams, man. You got to take that down. He was like, these hotels, these casinos, they want you to take all these teams on this parlay. If you can pick one good team and start building from there, you'll be good. Sometimes you got to slow build, make that money work out for you, and then get to where you start smacking. Because sometimes the odds be at that plus 400. You get to a point where you can drop 100 without an issue. Guess what? You just flip that into 5. You know what I'm saying? So,
you know what template I got away from?
What?
Normally, when basketball season started, it's just straight money lines.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been on such a roll with this football stuff, bro. I said, you know what, why not? Went and got my head split this week.
Smack.
Split.
Smack.
And I am man enough to admit that.
Hey.
Split.
I'm a man with... man.
But, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to what I do, bread and butter. I actually, you know what I did the other day?
What?
I got this group chat with my parlay partners.
Man, I need to be in this group chat.
But you got the same picks I gave them the other day.
I need to be in the group chat.
Okay, say less. I'm going to add you tomorrow.
Okay.
But I gave out like 8 picks, like 2 days in a row. All money lines, and they all came through. Had a couple dogs in there. And Nils pointed it out to me because I'll throw them out there and I'll go about my day, whatever.
Right.
Oh, yeah, money put out the blueprint. Ain't nobody follow these. Out there giving out money, bro, and I'm out here betting the points.
Man.
I got to stop doing that.
Money.
But I just got to go back to my bread and butter and I'll be straight.
And then before we get up out of here, just so you know,
it's almost that time. Huh?
Yeah, it's almost that time. We trying to get more active on our social media feeds. So, of course, we do want your feedback still. So if you have any questions for us, please send the video to us so we can add you to the show.
Yo, shout out to everybody in the Dog Pound who's
shout out to the Dog Pound because
appreciate y'all.
It's needed and we're grateful for it. Check out our Instagram page. That's where we will throw out some prop bets from myself. If Marv have anything, he's not a prop guy, but he will throw out some stuff. We will throw out our dog of the week on Instagram.
Yeah, you'll catch that.
It's too early right now.
You'll catch that Thursday, maybe around noon.
Yeah, absolutely. College, we might throw out something. Yeah, absolutely. So keep it up. Keep up with us. Check out our Instagram. Threw out a couple of props today. If you take them, what I will say is don't take everything if you don't feel like it. You know what I mean? Always take straight bets and then throw a little sprinkle on a parlay.
Parlay at your own risk.
Parlay at your own risk. Take our picks at your own risk. We're not charging you. We're giving y'all a free game. Honestly, I put a lot of research into this stuff. I'm not giving you no fluff. I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not taking. If y'all want to see me put up my tickets to show you that I'm taking the same thing, I'll be glad to do that.
Right.
But
vice versa.
Hey, keep up with us. Marv, you got anything?
Man, you know me. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell 10.
Tell 10.
Like.
Tell 20.
Subscribe.
Like, subscribe.
Oh, my bad. Tell 20. Man, we appreciate all the feedback we've been getting, man.
Absolutely.
All the love y'all been showing us.
Absolutely.
Keep listening. Keep telling people about us. And let's get this money, man.
Let's get this money. Dog money. Dog money. Dog money. When you smell that grass,
turkey ass.
You better wipe it. Yo. Love y'all.
Good show, my boy.
For sure.
Drew. Good show, my boy.
Yes, sir.